Righto, Sip. I told you we got another guest joining us, and I bet you that his teeth are shining more than mine. He's got bigger grills than me right now. I've never seen a man happier. He's been fighting it out for a playoff spot like Munster, Hughes and Pappenhausen. He's somehow scraped him with a score of 60 last week. We've got Jobe Watson on the line. Big Raiders man. How are you, Wispy?
I'm good. Tommy, I got no more pleasure than grinding out that 67-point win, knowing that Boydo and the Chins couldn't make the playoffs. So we were playing a dead rubber in the end.
Now, we're just getting your fantasy side up. We'll start off with, if you had to pick one next year, who would you take right now?
Next year, I reckon I'll take Mario Hampton as a running back. I think he's going to blossom into a serious player.
Did you leave him on your pine last week?
I did. I was a bit worried about the carries. I just thought, let's ease him back in, and he's going to be ready to go this week.
He's going to be playing the Chiefs. He looked good in the backfield. Let's talk about the playoffs. These are these are the teams that are in there. You got the D's boys. So you got Maisie, Hibbard, a former friend, a former teammate of yours, and a good friend of yours, and then Fritch and Oliver. Then you got the Storm boys plus Pappy. You got Bayless, Gibbons, Benny Graham, Bont, yourself, and then Josh Dunkley, Lockie Neal, and Adam Treloar. Out of all of those guys that have made the playoffs, which one is 100% not winning it?
Bayless has got no chance. I can't believe that he's even there in the first place. He doesn't. He seriously doesn't know what he's doing, Bayless. He's a mug punter. And funnily enough, he works in the racing industry. But I'm still doing it because
that
he's
is the second person that said that. Unreal.
That's two blows for Regan Bayless.
Gosh, he deserves it anyway. I think it's well played, Joe. I love it.
He's also about to have a baby, so good luck to him in a week.
Seriously.
I don't think he won't even field aside. He'll be that busy. Sip, over to you.
I want to know the player that's ruined your fantasy season so far, Jobe. Is there one player on your roster that you've just gone, shouldn't have done it? I shouldn't have picked him.
Well, Henderson, I was cursing him for probably the first 10 weeks of the season, and then he's finally come good. So he was the one that I was on the trade block for early on. I made a critical error when I was doing the draft and I picked Lad McConkey with my second pick, and then I took Mario Hampton with my third pick. And then I realised after the fact that they both played at the Chargers. I regretted doing that at the time, and it's cost me during the year. But I'm going to ride. Thankfully enough, the Chargers have been pretty good. But John Harbaugh, he's a very good coach, but he's not really a coach that's conducive to like high-scoring, big fantasy points.
Yeah.
He's too strategically clever for that. So I'd probably err against going for Chargers players. There's coaches that are very, very good coaches, but they're too good at coaches, so they're too good at clock management, and they actually think about how to win rather than how my player's going to score fantasy, like McDaniels or someone like that.
I love that. That is excellent from you. Not many people will actually know that, and you're all over it. So that's very, very good by you, JB.
The one thing though, Hampton he loves to run the ball, so that's a positive for you. Yeah, I was looking at your side in front of me, and for people listening, Mahomes, Marks, Henderson, McConkey, Chase, Johnson, Hampton, Sutton, and then the Jags defense. But you've got Monagai, Hubbard, Mason, and Charbonnet on the bench. You probably your team's stacked and at the right time, Joe. The only question mark would be T. Johnson from the Giants, and that's a tight end. So you just need to probably fix that. But you got a really strong side. You must be pretty happy heading into playoffs, I should say.
I've got some running back depth, which is very important when it comes to the end of the year, and especially in the colder games. So I think that at some point, if I make it through the first round, Hubbard might come into play. I thought that there was a big change in running back philosophy down in Carolina last week. Ricardo Dow's starting to get on the nose, and I think that Chuba Hubbard might come back in a big way for the last 2 weeks. So I'd be considering putting him back into the lineup, and also Monongai, I think, is a perfect running back for the cold weather up in Chicago, and I reckon that Ben Johnson's obviously a genius offensive coordinator. He knows how to create running lanes for running backs. And I just like the way that he runs the ball in that cold Chicago climate.
We'll go to trades. Now, there's been one pest all year that has been trying to get trade after trade for me, and that's Bayless. Has he done the same to you?
Baylor's just throwing you in a bag of chips and he wants some caviar in return.
I love
this
it.
guy. I don't know
terrible.
What planet he thinks he's on. I don't know what goes on in the jockey's room. But he's got no idea on the idea of how to get a deal done. It's got to be win-win, not win me.
I couldn't agree more. Is there any trade that you would have liked to have done this year, or is there a trade that you've made that you regret for the year in fantasy?
No, I made trades last year quite heavily, and I regretted them. And so this year I was a lot more cautious about it. But Dunks actually offered me maybe 8 weeks ago Ricky Pearsall for Trayvon Henderson, and I thought about it a fair bit. Because Henderson was, not running at all. And then I was just worried about Pearsall. I liked him in the preseason, but after his injury, and thankfully I never did the deal because he just hasn't got back, Pearsall, from his injury to his knee. And Henderson's actually proved to be quite a good sort of late season pickup. But I think I learned from Boydo last year, the year before, that you've got to play the fantasy wire very, very heavily. And that's been very good for me. So Woody Marks was a good pickup, and then Monongai as well for Chicago. You can't ignore form, and your form is the trend is your friend.
Well played. Tommy?
Trend is your friend. I was just looking at Chuba Hubbard, and you're spot on last week. 59% snap percentage against the Rams off a 22, 21, 19, 35 the 4 weeks prior. So that's almost double Wispy. But he gets involved in the pass game, and he has 2 green light matchups against New Orleans and Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay pretty good against the run in 2 weeks' time. And he's, your third down back, but they might use him in the pass game. So you're spot on there. You might be timing it to absolute perfection, but guess who you got to go through this week? And it's Jalen Hurts against the Vegas Raiders. That sucks off a 4-pick game. You wonder, does he just hand the ball off or does he throw it? And there's a few others there. But you know what? It's funny. You just said that Dunks offered you Pearsall. Well, guess who you're playing this week? You're playing Pearsall. So it's going to be a fun one to watch you. And, you've got Henderson going up against Pearsall and UV Dunks. And, they're pretty good normally. So you can knock them out. Then you'll progress and you'll play Benny Graham and the Bont. And you're only one step away. So it's exciting. Let's get into NFC, AFC predictions, Jobe. It's week 15. So we'll remind everyone it's an early prediction, but who do you think wins the NFC and the AFC? And then tell us who goes on and wins the Super Bowl.
I think the Buffalo Bills win the AFC, Tommy. I think that I trust them more than I do Bo Nix and Drake May at this point. I just think that Josh Allen is the guy that you want to be backing out of all the quarterbacks who are sort of going to be there. Mahomes feels like they're going to struggle. So I think the Buffalo Bills will represent the AFC. They've got their seasoned, hard finals experience. They've missed out, but doesn't feel like it's going to have to go through Kansas City. And if it's a Josh Allen versus Drake May or Josh Allen versus Bo Nix, I'd take Allen every day of the week. So I think that the Buffalo Bills make it from the AFC, and then the NFC is stacked. And I think the representative of the NFC comes out of the NFC West. I really don't know who's going to be. I'm probably leaning towards the Rams overall. I picked the Rams after, I think, the first round to win the Super Bowl, and I'm sticking with them. I just think that they are an excellent all-round side, and I think McVay is probably the number one coach in the game. So I'm backing the Rams to represent the NFC and the Bills to represent the AFC, and for the Rams to win it all.
Oh, I love it. Wouldn't that be just perfect momentum as they head down to Australia and play on semi-finals week of the AFL? How excited are you for that game, Wispy? It's pretty big.
Have you locked in our tickets yet, Tommy? I would have thought you'd be all across it.
Mate, anything for you. You know that. We're going to have a booth ready to go. We'll hopefully get the Christmas party and the wild card week at yours again, but it's locked in. We'll make sure that we're all together. I think that's the first time we might be able to get Boyd Cordner and the Sydney boys to fly down to Melbourne and we'll all attend that game. Looking forward to seeing who they're going to play. Is there anyone that you'd like to see them play that you realistically think will happen? I know they've got to wait to see who finishes at the 1 and, obviously the way the schedule and that is done after the season. But is there any team that you feel like will be coming down under to play the Rams?
Whether or not they do it or not, I think it makes perfect sense to do 2 West Coast teams. So like a Seattle Rams or San Francisco, Los Angeles game would be I reckon terrific, and makes it probably most sense for the West Coast teams to come out here. So, and speaking of West Coast, Tommy, have you any West Hollywood pool parties coming up in your foreseeable future?
I could just see you see how excited you were to ask me that question. We might play the overlay. Sent me to this pool party at the Mondrian. Apparently, it's a special party once a month, and you turn around, there's blokes with bigger glutes than Jobe Watson.
It was perfect for Tommy's situation. He's not afraid to hide it anymore. That's for sure. So good on him. Well done, eh?
It was an experience, Wispy. I've been a Mardi Gras in Sydney, and I have not been a Mondrian on the first of the month or whatever it was. I have one more question. You've rattled me. You've absolutely rattled me there, Wispy. So I've got to look at my notes quickly. I can't remember what I was going to ask you. I might have to finish on that note. That's right. One more. The Raider. You're a Raiders fan. Tom Brady's in the building. You're a very successful man, businessman. You've done everything in your life that's been a success. He talks about patience, Tom Brady, but how much patience can you have if you're a Raiders fan? Because we sit back and go, all the moves they're making from head coach, offensive coordinator, even the quarterback, their first round draft picks, a running back with no O-line. I mean, how long is it going to take for that team to actually get going? And what would you do if you were the GM?
They've got to go and find a quarterback. Geno Smith didn't work and hasn't worked. But you're right. You build teams through the offensive and defensive line. So I think in hindsight, it was a mistake to take a skilled position player with pick number 6. They would have been better off getting a D lineman or an O lineman. I think the guy that the Jets took with their first pick, the pick after us, has proved to be a pretty good offensive lineman, and they would have been better off, taking an offensive lineman last year, and you got the number 1 pick potentially this year, and you take a quarterback with a better line behind him. So that's really what they need to do. I think whether or not you re-engineer it, feels like it's going to be a pretty good quarterback class this year, and then next year looks even stronger as well. So whether or not they trade down and take a couple of linemen this year, and then get a quarterback next year, I'm not sure, or take the quarterback now and start building on the line, because they've got some good players there. Max Crosby's career is being wasted by, how inefficient it has been. But, games are won in the trenches. Toughness still wins football games. So I think that you've got to build in the offensive, defensive line first.
Well, mate, just want to say thank you so much for joining us on a busy Thursday for you. I've already, just spoke to the team upstairs, and we're going to organise that pool party for you, mate, if you can get to the semi-final. So I know you enjoy that kind of scene. A couple of vodka lime sodas with a little cucumber for you, Wispy. But, mate, thanks so much for joining us. Before you go, one leg tomorrow. We're just going to tuck it on. Munster picked Bijan Robinson for an anytime touchdown. Have you got a leg for us tomorrow in the Bucks hosting Atlanta that we can put up together?
I'll go Bucky Irving anytime touchdown too.
Beautiful. Like there you go. Keep it really simple. All right, mate. Enjoy the rest of your week. All the best in playoffs. And hopefully you can take it home, and I can pass over this trophy behind us as the previous winner, and, pass it to the great man, and just wish you all the best.
Thanks, Wispy.
Thanks, boys.
Oh, that's elite. We got Munster, Wispy. We had a couple others, but we thought we'll save them for next week. But I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to, the Ricky Pearsall and that Henderson matchup. Well, Wispy goes up against Dunks this week. Obviously, Dunks, Adam Treloar and Lachie Neale. And they play each other. I'm just going to be looking at who wins, and was there any difference in the score between those two players? Because he did say that trade would have killed him. But if Pearsall comes out and he's going to play, he's got a pretty good matchup this week. He could explode. So I'm looking forward to that. And the other one is Regan Baylor. So if they win this week, Regan, you need to get back on the pod and have your say, because you are copping strays. Poor Dill Gibbons has just been dragged through the mud hanging out with a bloody scumbag like Regan, hey? He's the best. He's the best, though, isn't he?
He is the best, Regan. Good on you for making it, mate. Last year was a pretty tough season for him. So, they've been copping a fair bit of slack.
You know what? He drafted 15 Dolphins players.
He did. But that on Chase Brown on top of it. But, hey, good on you. He's made it. You're in a better spot than I am. But, we definitely got to get him on the show next week, surely. If he makes it through, that'd be pretty entertaining.
Let us know in the comments, YouTube or Spotify, Apple, if you enjoyed our fantasy show. We're going to do it for playoffs and playoffs only. We're going to get as much insights from the boys as we can. So stay tuned on socials and whatnot, and we'll keep you updated because me and Sip have nothing else to do because we're not in the bloody playoffs. We're fighting it out in the toilet bowl so we don't get relegated. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Something new, powered obviously by our friends here at StatMate, your best mate when it comes to building yourself with a multi or arming yourself with all the information that you need around the game. They have the best trends, stats, you name it. So get on there and download the StatMate app now. And if you enjoyed this show, as I said, get involved in the comments and let us know who you want us to interview next. That's all I've got. Stay tuned for a big week 15 of NFL. Cheers.
You got hands like buckets.
The NBA is back. And to celebrate at PointsBet, place a head-to-head bet on the Lakers versus Warriors. And if your team scores the first basket, you win. That's right. Your team scores first, get paid out early. See your account for personalized max stake limit. PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for basketball. Yeah, that's built different.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.